Hey everyone, Dr. Reams here with Dr. Reams Concierge PT. I'm here today with Leann. She works with Juzo. And today we're going to talk about different compression garments for the arm at different stages that anyone may experience. So the first we're going to talk about is if I had a patient that just barely started noticing swelling or are at a higher risk, like some of those that I've mentioned before in other videos and all of that. What kind of sleeve can we get them in to kind of stop it before it really becomes swelling?
Well, that's a great question. We have lots of options available. We have lots of options for the early prophylactic swelling patient you're describing. Yeah. So this is our soft fabric, and our soft fabric is our most comfortable fabric. The compression threads in the fabric are covered twice in cotton. So it's twice covered in really soft cotton, so that helps it be cooler and breathable. It also helps it slide on easier as well. So we have a lot of varieties of this, and in many different compression classes. Do you want to talk about compression classes?
So some people need different classes. So the classes is how strong it is and really how much oomph do you need, right? And so we can start off with just a little bit to where if you're kind of still swelling through it or noticing that you're getting more swollen hand or this, we can up the compression class so that it's a little bit stronger. I love the soft series and being able to catch people soon enough to get them in the soft series because it's more comfortable and there's much more options as far as colors and patterns and all of that stuff. Much better compliance with the soft series. And it's a really great prophylactic or preventative tool. And so this is probably my favorite thing to order because we know we've caught it early. The other stuff is fantastic, but because we're catching it so early, I love these products.
And it's very, very stretchable. You can really stretch it. It's a two-way stretch. So that gives you the comfort that you're used to in leggings or in yoga pants. So two-way stretch is really important to keep those comfortable to you. So however you move, this supports you, it moves with you. It's going to keep you comfortable. And as Kaylee was saying, lots of different colors. So every year we launch a new set of trend colors. So every year you can look forward to a new selection of colors. So this is a pink and a cobalt, actually, that we had available last year. So we usually always have a pink. So if you're a pink fan, we'll have something for you there. There's also prints. So if you would like a tattoo sleeve or a henna sleeve or something that really goes along with your outfit, we can take care of you there. Lots of options available.
I have a lot of patients that will want the beige or a skin color tone, right? There's different shades of brown, cinnamon, all of that, so it blends in better, right? And then I have some people who want the patterns and the colors so it doesn't look medical. They have options across the board. I think people are always surprised when I hand them the booklet or show them the website with all of the patterns. They're just like, that many? Because they really try and reach out to different ones. One of my favorites, and I get a comment every single time, is the patriotic one. It looks like a giant flag on your arm. It's really cool, and it's something that I would want to wear on 4th of July. It is patriotic. But plenty of options, much more comfortable. And like we said, for anyone who needs to wear one, there should be a style that you feel comfortable putting on. We don't want you in something you're not comfortable putting on.
I'm glad you said that, Kaylee, because that's really important to us at Juzo, that we provide products that really support someone's lifestyle. So whether that's, you want to wear something that just blends in with your everyday outfit, you don't want to draw attention to yourself, or you want to wear something that looks more like an athletic piece of clothing, a fashion statement. We can do both of those things. And it's very important that we support your lifestyle in your compression garments because you're going to be wearing them hopefully, for a part of your life.
Yeah. And another part here that I should point out while I'm thinking about it, because I totally have squirrel brain, is they have a silicone beading up at the top that helps it stay so that you're not fussing with it all day long. That's part of that there. It's going to slide as we move and all that stuff just slightly, but that silicone beading helps it stay up better. Another fantastic thing about these sleeves is they are machine wash, machine dry. So you don't have to hand wash them, you don't have to wait for them to dry sitting on your counter. In fact, you want to put them in the dryer to keep the compression in them. If you think about socks at the end of the day, how they're all stretched out, same thing happens to compression, is you need to put them in the dryer.
Yes.
I tell my patients, if you're traveling or stuff like that, is hand washing's fine, but that dryer is probably the key piece. But it is nice when you can just throw them in the wash and not have to hand wash them.
It is, and a lot of people are curious about the care instructions,
Yeah.
and we include care instructions and all of that, but the quick way to say it is don't put anything that whitens, brightens, or softens on them, right? So any sort of regular laundry detergent that's free of softeners or brighteners or whiteners, you can put that right in your wash.
And Tuffle, be boring. Plain detergent.
Yes.
Don't spice it up anyway. Be boring.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that'll take care of it. It just needs to get cleaned. And so, yeah, and those do come with the sleeves as care instructions because you'll have a lot of information thrown at you, but it is nice.
And part of that drying process comes from that cotton-covered compression threads we were talking about, because what happens when you put your cotton in the dryer, it pulls back into its original shape. So it's a really important part of getting the good compression in your garment is putting it in the dryer.
Yes.
We encourage people to do that,
Yes.
so I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. Now what happens if I need a glove or I notice swelling in my hands and I want a fun print sleeve or something like that?
Well, I'm glad you asked because we have a gauntlet that will match any of your sleeves. So it matches up nicely there to look like one piece. If you have a solid color, you can receive it in any of the trend colors or in any of the standard colors. And we've got black ones and black ones as well. So whether you want to do something interesting or you want to stick with the standards, you can choose either a glove or a gauntlet.
And choosing the right garment for you, you're going to want to go see someone to get fit. Not everyone will need a glove or a gauntlet, but you need to be fit and measured because, especially with gloves, our hands are all so unique. Length of fingers, all of that stuff. The sleeve, if it doesn't fit right, it's going to bind and bunch. You're not going to like it. So make sure you see someone to get the right fit. Don't just order off of Amazon, please, unless you absolutely know your size and you've stayed steady. Please, please, please. Okay, so that's if we're catching really early. What about if someone's been seeing a therapist? They've swollen up, shrunken down. Right now we're ready for a sleeve, but we need a little more oomph to it. So kind of more of that dynamic and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I have a great answer for you. So everything you love about the soft, which is the cotton covered compression threads and the two-way stretch, we offer in our dynamic fabric. But like you mentioned, Kayla, it has more containment. So it's our most containing circular knit product. So you get all the benefits of the circular knit, stretchy, very comfortable, all the colors, and tie-dyes you can get in the dynamic. But it's a more robust fabric that can really resist against that propensity to swell.
Yeah, so it's just a little bit more oomph to help. And so those who we catch early, we can get in that softer and all that stuff because they're not really going to, what I say, blow through the compression. Their swelling is stronger than the compression on them. That dynamic has that little bit more oomph. And when we're talking about circular knit, really what that means is there's a machine that literally knits it in a circular way. So there's no seam, right? If you look around the entire product, there's no seam coming down your arm. So that really kind of factors in what type of product. If you have a different shape arm than this because of lymphedema, we go into a flat knit. And so we have some examples here. You want to talk a little bit about flat knit?
Yeah, so flat knits are custom made for you. They can fit any size, any shape. And Kayla was just talking about the seamless and the circular. These garments do have a seam. So we knit these products custom to your measurements, and then we sew them together.
And so this way, if you have more swelling in one spot, or anything like that, this garment will fit you there. It's also a little bit tougher of a material as well, which is why you won't get quite as many options as far as patterns and all of that stuff, is the way that that material is. They can't quite get those fun patterns yet. I'm hoping they're working on it.
That'd be great. But you can get tie-dyes, so you can choose any of the fun trend colors or any of these. So we have something for you if you want to do something eye-catching. Purple and pink, and these definitely have more of that containment we're talking about. So where soft has minimum containment, dynamic has more, and then your flat knits really are going to resist that that propensity to swell.
Yeah, and so when I'm looking at a patient in front of me, is what does their day-to-day look like? Do they wake up in the morning and have absolutely no swelling, and maybe they swell a little after they work out? I'm looking at maybe the soft, potentially a dynamic, depending on kind of where they're at. If they wake up in the morning, no swelling, but by the end of the day they definitely have swelling, I'm looking at that dynamic, right? If I have someone who, we have tried everything, they shrink really well when I bandage them, but they go take a shower and they swell right up, right? They're real quick, they got that strong swelling, I'm looking at a flat knit, or just a different shape arm. Because we're human beings.
Right, we're
Life
all different. Yes.
treats us differently, our bodies respond differently. So to get that custom fit, because if it's not fitting right, it can actually cause more problems.
Well, you know what, there's another factor here too, is your lifestyle.
Yes.
So depending on what your day-to-day, like you said, looks like, if you're outside doing a lot of really active things and working really hard and you want to have a little extra protection, you may want to have a flat knit when you do those activities.
Absolutely.
And then have a dynamic for other more low-key times. So, but that's something your therapist will be able to help you with and help you make those decisions.
Yeah. Now, for those people who maybe can't necessarily wear a sleeve because they have decreased sensation in their arm or post-stroke, right, and they're toned, right, something like that, there's also an option over here that's in an inelastic, I call Velcro wrap. And so there is this nice foam padding, soft compress is what it's called. And so it's nice and soft, go figure with the name, right? That comes up, as I punch myself in the chin, up like this, right? So I can move in this, and then this is the part that adds the compression, okay? So I slide my arm in here, all the way up.
Give you a little help on the
I know. The backside's always the toughest piece. And then there's Velcro that goes down, right? And so this, if you're having to help someone or they just don't have the best feeling to know if a sleeve is binding on them, this is a much safer option. They can get compression without that risk of binding. Sometimes I'll put people in this at night, if they swell overnight, that very aggressive swelling, so we don't have to worry about the binding at night. And I did not do the best job of putting this on. You don't want to see gaps like this, but for all intents and purposes. So there's a great variety out there if a sleeve is not the right option for you, right? I had one gentleman who was still going through radiation because he had a very aggressive cancer. And they needed to be able to get to his arm, wound care, all of that stuff. And pulling on and off that sleeve was irritating the skin, so we went with something like this. Again, like if someone has tone as a stroke, this can go on like that. Very easily, you can help them. You could get a sleeve on them depending on what's going on, but this is a nice option.
Yeah, it's a great option, and you can wear it on either side. You know, the Velcros are removable, and this also is machine wash. Dry, lay it flat to dry. Soft compress is machine washable as well. Yeah. Yeah,
and so often what I'll teach people to do as well is you almost get twice the use out of it.
Right, wear it in beige then.
Yeah, is if I took all of this off, you can see I'm holding a Velcro piece, and flip it over, then you're kind of pulling from a different angle, and it gets double the use out of it, and you can have a black one or you can have a beige one, all in one. And so this is a very nice option when it comes to that.
Yeah. It's an alternative to your bandaging. Bandaging is the gold standard, but compression wraps can be an alternative.
I have done that where if someone lives alone, no real support directly around them, they just can't bandage themselves. is we'll go with a wrap like this. Again, it's a little bit slower. It's not the best method, but it's the best method for that person.
Mhm.
They just could not manage themselves. And so that is an option with this as well.
So always looking at their lifestyle and what their abilities and needs are and tailoring to them.
And Juzo makes that very possible and listens so that you've got that good team of a good product company and a good therapist taking care of what you need to get the results you deserve. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Katie.